Okay, one of the big debates that we have in East Chicago about the best players, East Chicago football Central history. You know, you was known one of the great players to come through. So, no, you was, you was, man. I'm telling you. You know, and this come from your peers. So that that really what counts the most. You
Right.
know, your peers. Um, so I want to get from you who you feel like is the best player at each position, and then you can name more than one, but I want that one that you feel like is the best, and then overall, who is the most dominant football player to ever step on the football field, East Chicago Central. So let's kind of start off with quarterback.
Well, quarterback wise, I can only give you and tell you about the ones that I do know. I really didn't keep up with the football teams going after my year and after a certain amount of time. But I know I played with Eric Irving, which was Moose, and I played with what's his name,
Bob Gillis.
Bob Gillis, and Duncan Purnell. Did a little bit of quarterbacking too. I think all those guys are great, but overall, the one that I really seen do some really amazing things was Eric Irving. Eric Irving he was he was a very slim, tall guy. Arm was unbelievable. I mean, I've actually seen him throw the whole football field in high school. Uh, he was a great scrambler. He kind of put you in the remembrance of the reminder of Michael Vick, but he wasn't left-handed. But he was a great quarterback. And I give all the rest of the quarterbacks their props too. Um,
Running back.
Running back wise, wow. You got Alfonso Roberson, Ping, who else?
Royce Roberson.
Royce Roberson, and who else? Some of those younger guys.
Ooh, I
It's
can name some for you.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can name a few.
Okay, we got we got Brian Hudson,
Brian
Scott
Hudson,
Upshaw,
Scott Upshaw.
Alfonso, Ping, Royce, Aaron Smith, Willie Collins, and Dante Smith. Those pretty much were the guys that really put it down.
Yeah.
So
Well,
who you say the best?
well, actually, I can put these guys in categories, and man, I can start off. Like I said, I can start off with the guys that I really do know and played with.
Okay.
I played with Alfonso Roberson and Ping and Royce Roberson. Uh, I've never seen a running back. I'm sorry, a running back like Alfonso Roberson. He was in high school, 260, running the rock. This guy, I mean, he would get. We needed yardage, he would go get it. Scoring wise, at that point in time, he was the leading scorer in East Chicago's history. In fact, he was the leading scorer in the I want to say in our conference. Uh, the guy had speed. He had power. He was just a phenomenal athlete. Then you have let me see, Brian Hudson. Brian Hudson was, man, shifty, fast, streaky. He was real. He had speed, man. He was a good running back. And then you had Scott Upshaw. He was a really good I would say like a sweep type runner. He hit that outside. He's really fast. Also, he was a good track. He was a good track runner also. Um, then you had Royce Roberson, which was, man, all out, just strong, fast. You know, block. He could do it all. He could do it all. And basically, out of the running backs, I would have to give it to my boy, which I'm not using him as favoritism, but I would give it to Alfonso Roberson.
So you saying Alfonso Roberson is better than Martell France and Royce Roberson?
I would say that because of for one, his size, and he played both ways. He played both ways. So a guy to run the ball and go play, play both ways hard every down, and when you needed a yard, he would go get it for you. He really would. Like I say, Martell France, very good also. You know, he I believe he set one of the records here as in
career
yardage,
rushing. Yeah,
career rushing.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of them. We had a lot of good running backs. But pound for pound, I can tell you from the knowledge that I have of the ones that I know of. Now the other guys, I know some of them, but I don't know what they really done in their careers, here. So.
Gotcha. Fullback.
Fullbacks, we had Royce Love and Keno Holloway and Scrappy.
Yeah, Torrey Armstrong.
Armstrong. Let me see. Royce really wasn't a fast runner. We used him more as a blocker. Keno Holloway was more of a runner, which he did run track also. He was a phenomenal track runner. And then you had Scrappy. I did see Scrappy play a few times. But out of those three that I know of, I would have to give it to Keno Holloway because I've seen him do some things, and I've actually seen him play with being hurt. I've actually seen him go out there and give it his all, and he just was a phenomenal athlete himself.
Wide receiver.
Wide receivers, the ones that I remember: Judah Parks, Anthony Dowdell. Anthony's brother, Gregory. I would say I would have to give it to Anthony. Anthony was more. He had good hands. He wasn't that tall, but he would. Of my knowledge, I remember him he caught a lot of balls. And he got some good yardage during a lot of the games that we played. Judah Parks was also a great, phenomenal athlete, basketball and football. And Gregory, he was up and coming, and that I believe that he wound up being a quarterback also. They wound up using him for a quarterback spot too. So. Like I say, all these guys were phenomenal athletes, and my pick would be Anthony Dowdell.
Okay. Tight end.
Tight end, we had J Bugs, and I remember Adrian Knowles being more of a blocker tight end. Out of the two, I would have to give it to Adrian Knowles because Adrian Knowles played both ways, and I don't remember Jake playing both ways. But at my time, we played very hard schools, and to go both ways at that moment, it was very challenging. So, like I say, the ones that I really do remember, I can only judge and go off of. So I would say Adrian Knowles.
Okay. Offensive lineman.
Woo! Offensive lineman. You had Robert Smith, Gabe Malave, Tom Lukowski, Bernie, Sanford, Dino. All these guys, phenomenal athletes. But as I say, man, hands down, without even not even a discrepancy on it, I'd have to give it to Robert Smith. Robert Smith, yeah.
Okay. D lineman.
Oh, wow. Again, you get the same as on the offense you had on defense. So you had Robert Smith, Tom Lukowski, Condo Ransford, Sanford Span, me, myself, Alfonso Roberson, Jermaine Wright, Seymour Hill, and others. Wow. Stat-wise, I really would have to give it to Robert Smith again. Because, I mean, honestly, this guy never, when we played, this guy never came off of the field. He stayed on the field, and I mean, he gave it his all. And I was really amazed with him, and I was really proud and honored to play with him. So I would say Robert Smith.
Where did Isaiah Smith fit in at all time DNs?
Wow. I would say, actually, I was very underweight at the time, playing the defensive end, but I was very strong, very fast, and I could get in places when others couldn't get there. I picked up the slack, I would say, more. Like I would know when my other teammates on the line was tired, and by me playing only one way, I knew I had to give it my all. So I would try my hardest to do what I could. And me not being, I don't really consider myself being a phenomenal athlete, but I do say that when we needed things, I did it. You know, I did get some sacks and some block throws and different things like that. So I mean, I really believe I was the one that relieved, to give them somewhat of a breather or take some of the pressure off of the defensive line. It was my job to do that.
Gotcha. Linebacker.
Linebacker. Oh wow, I really could put myself in there because I did play some linebacker my junior year. We have Adrian Knowles, Royce Love, Scrappy, Ted Compton, Aaron Smith, Dante Smith. All of these guys, phenomenal. All of them. Man, I got stories for all of these guys too. But out of them all, I would really have to say Ted Compton. Reason why I would say Ted Compton is because I remember the way we used to beat up on him, but yet the beating up, it was really a lesson for him to be learning, and he really took the lessons that he learned and turned it around and used it in the game and became a phenomenal linebacker in his time. Cuz don't get mad at me and none of that, but yeah, Dante, Aaron, all of these guys, great as linebackers. These guys I looked at and I tilt my hat to them as great linebackers in their time.
Okay. Cornerback and safety. You just named both of them.
Yeah, Kimber Fry, Pachi, Damon Glenn, Royce Roberson, and a few other guys, Deron Kroon. All these guys, as I say, phenomenal athletes.
So, like, overall in the secondary, who would you take if you had one person to take?
If I had to put my money on anybody, I would have to say Royce Roberson.
Okay. Who is the best player that ever played East Chicago Central football field?
Once again, I would have to say Robert Smith. Yeah, I mean, a guy of his stature, a guy of his caliber, personality, the passion for the game that he has. He was just, an all-out true football player. And I would say he is Mr. Cardinal to me.
Gotcha.